Hello and welcome to Gabbett Media. I'm Grant Abbott, and in this series we're creating a detailed game-ready axe. This particular episode we're working on the blade section and building our base mesh ready for sculpting. If you like what you see here, then check out the description for my website and playlist section of my channel for other free courses. Or you can follow the links to my character course, where you can learn to make a full game-ready detailed character from scratch. It's also worth pointing out that a great YouTuber, Jayanam, has also produced a axe-type game model playlist. Very similar to this one. It wasn't my intention to copy him, but do go and check that one out, and you can take a look at our different approaches. Okay, so here's where we got up to last time. And we're going to give our axe blade some thickness and start adding a few details ready for sculpting. So let's come into the blade here. And to start off with, a nice easy way to give it some solidity is to go to the modifiers, add modifier and solidify. If we up the thickness, you can see the thickness of the axe there, but we can actually offset. So if I press 0, it will go from the middle outwards, which is kind of what we want at the moment. And later on, we'll apply this once we've done all our notches and things, and then we can start varying the width of the blade once it's applied. But for now, I want us to keep the modifier there so we can start editing those details. Then we only have to do it on a single plane. So if I go to front view again, 1 on my numpad, back to X-ray mode and into edit mode. It's worth pointing out that I'm going to keep remeshing when I sculpt. I'm not going to use a multi-resolution workflow as is sometimes seen. I don't think it works as well. Instead, I'm going to keep the low poly model I make here and adapt the shape after sculpting to match with the high poly model. So I'm going to try and keep reasonable topology for the low poly, which I can match up to the high poly later. If that doesn't make sense, then check out my how to make great models for games and films video, which will explain the workflow simply with examples. Okay, so we're going to need something in here for this notch here, and something in here, and these two areas here. So to start off with, a simple way is just to get your knife tool out and start cutting around. Where you can, meet up and snap to a vertex and then press enter. We can then go in and delete the faces we don't need by selecting them, pressing delete and then faces. So into here, and notice I'm not snapping to any line here, I'm just creating vertices around there, then deleting that face. Now you're probably going to say, oh, what about the n-gons? We'll sort those out in a moment. It's best just to get our shape first. When you start your cutting though, it's always best to just start from a edge or vertex. And in this case, I want to cut here and do a cut from up there. If I press E now, I can then go back to this and then back out again and press enter. So E kind of interrupts your cutting, but you can continue cutting in another place. If that's too confusing, then just do 2 knife cuts. So I'll grab this one, move it into position, and this one. Just start modifying the shape slightly so it lines up. We're going to want another cut in here, but I'll cut this out first and cut out the last one here, there, and select these 2 faces and delete them. Okay, now let's edit the shape slightly. We're going to need a few more cuts, so this has a curve here and this needs more of a curve, so we can press Ctrl R and do a loop cut across there. However, it's not doing it, it's only going here, so I'll undo that. It's because loop cuts can't go through n-gons, which is why we want to model in quads where we can. So instead I'll use the knife tool and I'll come in here and tidy that up. So we get all the cuts that we need. We probably need another one coming down here, so K for knife tool, coming down there. And G to grab, move this one over slightly. And this is the tricky point in terms of how high poly do you need to go. Because you can see there's quite a sort of jagged edge going around here, so maybe we want another couple of cuts in here to make it fairly smooth. But the more cuts you add, the more polygons there are. But like I say, polygon count isn't as important as it used to be. You can go a bit more high poly than you'd think. But if this axe was to be used masses of times within the game and you'd see loads of them on the screen and loads of characters as well, then maybe it's something you need to consider. But if this is going to be the main character's weapon, then we can go a bit more high poly. So I'll bring that down there. I might have a cut up here, so I can even this out a bit more along here and give this more of a curve. So I'm utilizing the polygons, not just keeping them in straight lines. And we can actually just create a cut from here to here. And that way I've got a quad here and I can easily make a quad here by going 2 to edge mode, select this edge, and Ctrl X is the shortcut to dissolve edge loop. Unfortunately that got rid of my vertex as well, so let's select this and right click, subdivide, and there I've got my vert back. I can go back to vertices and bring that down now. So this curve's getting a bit smoother. We'll need to split this one up a bit, I think. So I think what we want is actually a cut down here, because we certainly need one there at the edge here to bring out, and we'll want one in here to smooth this out. So K in here, down to here. And now I can get rid of this one and then keep my quads. So Control X to dissolve. Back to vertex mode, and let's start evening this out again. There's an extra one here which we've got to consider what to do with, and it's creating this n-gon, but I think it's necessary for creating that curve. We also need to tidy the ones up here, and I would suggest we probably need maybe 2 more. So let's do that. Bring this one around, that one around there. I think this needs to cut this way. So K for knife tool and cutting in here, and we'll go down to here. I know that leaves a triangle, but triangles are actually okay some of the time. Let's bring this one back, this one around just a touch, and we'll probably want to split that into 2. So I'll press Control B to bevel, and then V for vertex, and you can see it creates 2. So Control B to bevel, and then tap V so it bevels the vertex. If that was confusing, then just subdivide the edge. So we can probably get away with a cut down here. So Control R to loop cut, and it only goes to there because of this n-gon in here and this extra vertex there. So now we can use the knife tool from here. Come around to here. We've got an extra vertices here and here. So actually we want to join those up ideally. So let's come down here. I know it looks messy at the moment, but now we can think which ones we can delete. So if I press K here and add one here as well, that's good. And now I can come in to edge mode and Control X to delete that one. And that one there. So hopefully you're sort of seeing how you can tidy your mesh up and create a nice object with reasonably good topology. Now we've still got an n-gon here, so K to cut there. We can come across here and then into there. And guess what we have? If I delete this one, Control X to dissolve, we've got another quad. So I can sort of move this in. It's a good idea to sort of do this with them, and then you can kind of see the quads and how they work. So my edge flow is coming around here. Don't worry if that's not making sense. You can just follow along. Hopefully by doing and repeating, you'll get the idea. So this one can come in here and out here. So let's K for knife tool, bring it out here. And let's smarten these 2 up. And again, we've got some nice quads there, but we've got this awful triangle here. How dare he? How disgusting. Now for this, I'm thinking maybe just a cut in here, and let's move this edge along there maybe, and a cut in here, to there, and to the end. And that way we can get the vertex here and tidy it up. So we've actually ended up with what I think is a quad-based mesh. Just having a quick scan around. Someone will probably tell me on YouTube if I haven't. We probably need a bit more curves along here, so I can grab these 2, edge slide this time, GG to edge slide, and that slides them along, and then Control R to loop cut, and then bring that up so it's got more of a curve, and maybe just a sort of sharper point there. Possibly a little bit jagged around here. I think we need another one in here, certainly. I'll bring those in so they underlap the handle of my axe, and let's bring these in as well. Now I think generally that's looking okay. Let's go back into object mode, into solid mode, and let's just have a quick look at how that's looking. Does that look smooth? We'll probably see it from about this sort of distance. A bit jaggedy in there, but if it was shaded smooth and with some normal maps on it, I think we're going to be okay. So it's at this point that we can then think about applying our modifier. It's a good idea to save your work. And that's an important point. Anytime you're going to apply a modifier like this, save your work. So if you have any problems, you can always append that item back into your file from your old one. Even if you've made changes to other objects, you can bring parts of models back in from older scenes. So we can come across to our modifier now over here, and they've moved the apply buttons. So if we come down to the drop down menu here, you can see apply there. I'm not quite sure why they did that. I think they need a button with apply, an A or something, because it's so common. To have it in a drop-down menu doesn't make sense. However, I suppose what they have done, which is good, is give it a shortcut. So Control A. So if I press Control A in my viewport, it doesn't work. I've got to have my mouse over the modifiers, and then I can press Control A, and now it's applied the modifier. Now we can come in with Tab on my keyboard and start editing our shape. But before we do that, it's probably a good idea at this point to set our mirror down the y-axis. Now we've already set it up. We've already got the auto mirror enabled over here. And it's on the negative, so it's coming towards us. So Y, negative, auto mirror, and something's gone wrong. So have a think for a moment what that might be. And I'm going to undo that. So for some reason it went upwards instead of across. And it didn't do that for the handle. The reason is, if I click on the handle and go to item, and just bring down these transforms here, you can see that there's virtually no rotation in the X or Z axis. And it's the X axis that is important in this case because that's this one going across here. So if you think the rotation's going across there, if it's rotated at all, then the Y axis, the local Y axis to this object, will actually be going in a different direction. And that was the problem for my axe head here. So if I click on that, you can see that the rotation of the X is 90 degrees. So Y locally is actually pointing upwards. And that's why we got this funny axe head on top of it. So we need to set this rotation back to 0. I can't change it in here to 0 here because it just rotates, so I'll undo that. What I need to do is press Ctrl A to apply that rotation, just there, rotation. Later on we'll have to apply the scale as well, but I want to save that to show you problems you're going to get if you don't. Okay, so now I've got the rotation applied, I can come to my edit options, auto mirror, Y negative, auto mirror, and notice it didn't move, but if I go into edit mode now, we've got to cut down the middle. But interestingly, it's kept my solidify modifier. Probably just when I was undoing steps, it brought back the solidify modifier. So I'm going to undo that, tab back into object mode and press Ctrl A to apply my modifier. Yes, you must be in object mode as well. And then I'm going to press the auto mirror this time. Hopefully it's all working into edit mode. There we go. We can now see half of the shape, which is great. Okay, so that's probably enough for this particular video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.